G'day guys, it's Nick from HobbyKing again. Today, very exciting day. It's the launch of the GT5 radio from Turnigy. Now, we haven't brought out a all new Surface radio for a long time, and this one is an absolute beauty. If you're in the market for a new car radio, you can't go past this. If you're not in the market for a new car radio, get one anyway, because it is fantastic. It's a full function Surface radio with a whole bunch of features in there that you don't normally get with radios twice the price, let alone a radio at this price. So let's just run through quickly what those features are. It can be used as a 2-channel radio, just the same as any other 2-channel Surface radio for your car or boat, but it does have 4 extra channels that you can utilize for other functions. And it also has an inbuilt gyro in the receiver. So let's just go through a couple of those things and what the benefits of them are. First of all, the gyro. Now, you're probably thinking, well, what am I going to use a gyro for in a car? If you drift, and that's why we've got the DFR drifter set up here with the radio in it, it is a fantastic feature. It makes drifting super easy to do. You can hold long drifts because what the servo is doing is counteracting any imperfections in the steering and keeping it on a general course. The gyro is fully programmable through the radio, so you don't have to plug something else into the receiver to try and fix up the gyro. It's all done through the radio, and we'll run through those menus a little bit later on. Now, the other great feature of this car radio is that it has a crawling function in there as well. What this means is, if you've seen, for instance, the Rockstar, it has the same function, where you can have 4 different types of steering programmed into the radio itself. So you don't have to program anything special, it does it all for you. The first function is straight front wheel steering, so the front wheels turn. The next function is rear wheel steering, so just the rear wheels turn. Then you get front and rear, so you can have them both go in the same direction, which will mean your car goes like that or like that, which is called crabbing. Or you can have reverse steering, like Hondas used to have them, and some of the really upmarket sports cars have it. So that when you steer, both wheels turn in opposite direction, creating a sharper lock for your steering, which is a super handy feature for crawling. And you can change those functions on the go. So you just when you've got it in crawl mode, you simply scroll between the functions you need to get over the object you're trying to get over. So it's got a 20 model memory function, which, if you're like me and you've got a lot of models, is a great feature, because all you're doing then is you're keeping one receiver in each of those models, and you just change model when you come along to it. You don't have to rebind and reprogram, do all the other stuff. The other thing is you can name your models in here. It's got a reverse servo function, so you can reverse your steering, you can reverse your throttle. It's got endpoint adjustment, which is vital when you're setting up a car. It's got sub trim, which means you're not using your trim tabs on the side to get your steering throw or your throttle throw correct. You're using the sub trim, which means that your steering isn't affected by the change in the servo that you've created through the trimming process. It's a much more accurate way of setting up your car. It's got dual rates. It's got exponential, it's got ABS, which is anti-lock braking, which, like in a big car, when you jam the brake on, it does it in pulses so that you're not locking the brakes onto a hard braking. It's got a fail-safe function, and then it's got the crawl and the drift functions, as we discussed before. So let's have a quick look at how the SVC, or what I call the drifting function, works. Let's turn the DFR on. Now, as you can see, we've got standard steering there, but if I move it sideways, the steering moves in response. So even when I'm steering, you can just see it sort of moving a little bit still. Even though I've got only half lock on, when I move it to the side, it's counteracting what I'm doing. So what that means is when you're going at an angle, it's holding that angle for you. It's really hard to show holding the car. It's something you've got to feel for yourself. But if you drive it without the drift function on and with the drift function on, you'll go from struggling to get it to hold a drift to being a pro in one switch. It's a fantastic function. Okay, so that's the GT5 surface radio. All the car radio and boat radio you will ever need. Now, there are more details on the product in the product listing, which is listed below. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great products, tips and tricks. See you next time.